Cool. So the first thing you want to do once you open Inkscape is you'll want to set the size of the document that we're working with. So we're going to go to here to File, then Document Properties. This is where we're going to change our document to be the same size as our piece of timber. So our piece of timber that we're using is 570 wide and 125 tall. 125, and you can see in the background it's already changed. I said enter. You'll notice that the units are already in millimeters. So then this allows us to basically place the things we want to cut out or the things we want to engrave onto our piece of timber. In here, I can use my scroll wheel on the mouse to pan. So if I click the scroll wheel and drag it from side to side, it moves left and right and up and down. If I want to zoom in, I hit the plus button on the keyboard. If I want to zoom out, I hit the minus button on the keyboard. And that's the basics of how to do your orientation stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're creating a sign. So we're going to include some text and we're going to draw a shape so we're able to cut that shape out. So the first thing we'll do is we'll draw our shape. So we'll start by drawing a box. And it's come out blue, which is fine. So we'll click on this box here. At the top of our screen, we'll see we've got a width of 143 millimeters and a height of 100 millimeters. Now, I think you said you wanted 80 by 80. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Cool. So let's type in 80. And then 80. So it's now the right size. Ish. I just pressed the enter button. Yep. Yeah. That's basically 80 by 80. So that's, the W is for width and the H is for height. The next thing we want to do is we want to turn the object so it's got, at the moment it's blue, which isn't useful for the laser engraver. So we're going to go in Object and then Fill in Stroke. And this is where we sort of tell the laser cutter what's the useful information. So wait for that to come up. Cool. So first up we're going to go to Fill. And on Fill we want to have no fill. So that goes completely white. Then we're going to go to Stroke. And we want to turn our stroke to full red. So that'll be all the way to, not just looking red, but should go over, just drag it, all the way to 255. Cool, and I can just enter again. Just see, make sure it's actually changed it. You can see it's gone to sort of a slight pink color. That's going to tell, that tells our laser cutter that we're wanting to draw this box here, 80, well, it's gone to 80.175, which I'm not quite sure why that's 80.175. Perhaps it's to do with something to do with the line thickness. Perhaps because we didn't have a line on before, true. But there was no stroke before, and now there's the thickness of the stroke. So we could probably change that back to 80. It's not super necessary when we're talking about 0.2 of a millimeter, but anyway, let's do 80 by 80. Now we want to fill our text that's going to go in here. So we'll go to our text box, and we're just going to draw a box inside here. And inside a box to the right, so this one here is going to be bibs plus bib cloths. And probably what I'll do is I'll probably leave that one. So this one here we can then change, so we can look at that font now. We can go, right, we want to change it to be, if it's left aligned, we could change it to be centered, which would be set there to be centered. And then I'll probably make another text box that will be $4 each. Now at the moment, the font we've chosen is a very plain font. If we go up here, we can now change our font to a range of other different fonts. The world's kind of your oyster. A really professional looking font, if you're wanting just a nice simple one, is Calibri. So we go there, it probably looks very similar. And because we know our box is 80 millimeters by 80 millimeters, we might as well make it a little bit bigger. So we'll just increase it on our point size here. So we'll probably go to, let's see if we can get away with, it's 30, let's look at something at 48. Cool. So that's our bibs and bit cloths, cool. And the only issue is, if this is our sign, it's going to run right the way to the very edge. So I think we probably want to change that to slightly smaller because it looks a bit better if it runs right off the edge. So we'll go and change that down to 36.